Kia ora and welcome to AI Demo Day, the first demo day event that we've produced for New Zealand.ai. I'm Justin Flitter, I'm the founder of AI New Zealand, and for the last 8 years, we've been helping Kiwi organisations discover why, where and how to be leveraging artificial intelligence. Today, over 2 live demo sessions, you're going to see firsthand 7 different companies and meet the people and deep dive into the product to discover firsthand how you can use these AI tools to unlock the potential of artificial intelligence in your business. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Sam.
Hey, all I had to do was
Nice.
change browsers. It works like magic.
You haven't got one of these new AI browsers, have you?
I have not. I was just using good old Safari, but I've gone to
Ah,
Chrome, and that seems to have worked.
there's one called I think I pronounced it right. Fellow, Fellou. It's an AI browser. I'm waiting for my VIP code to get special access, and when I do, I will share a little video of what it does, which will go alongside my limitless pendant here, which is recording everything I say. Unfortunately, it can't record everything I think either, because that would be a much bigger
Uh,
data set.
yeah, that'd be a disaster, surely.
Sam, you've been working in AI for many years, working with lots of different organizations. Um, I met you back when you were working with Curious and doing a lot of, fantastic work with there. The journey for you has brought you through to Blackpearl Group and doing some remarkable work there. So keen to get a little bit of kind of your story and hear a little bit about the products and the approach that Blackpearl's bringing to helping companies utilize AI or do better stuff with AI.
Yeah. It's been a long time in AI, and I think I was doing AI before it was really called AI. So about 15 or so years ago, I was working for a private equity company in London, and we were focused on automatically reading news stories and surfacing that up to people who were doing the M&A deals. And at the time, we didn't call it AI or anything like that. But looking back, it was very early kind of machine reading and sentiment analysis. So yeah,
Certainly natural language
amazing.
processing, right?
Exactly. So, but yeah, as you say, I came back to New Zealand and kind of cut my teeth on the more modern AI techniques at Xero, where I led the data innovation team for Xero, and we were looking across the big data sets that Xero had or still has, and working out incredible insights from that. And then moved into Curious, which is a professional consulting firm. And so the wonderful thing about professional services is you get to see dozens of use cases and really see what's working and what's not. And so that led me to Blackpearl. And what I love about Blackpearl is that the business was founded about 10 years ago now, and it's all about empowering small and medium-sized businesses to help them grow. So, it's really interesting hearing Aether talk about Arcanum, and the kind of philosophy I think in New Zealand is very similar across firms like ours, where we know how hard it is to be a small, medium-sized business and grow, and we know that you need the tools, as many tools as you can that work in with the systems you already have. And so that's really where our focus is about taking that stuff that you've already got and making it better with data and AI, or giving you incredibly simple tools to use, which is what our new tool is, Bebop is, which I'll
Yeah,
demo later on.
it's it's about leveling the playing field to some extent, or getting, finding that little competitive edge, especially if you're a scale up or trying to leap the ditch to Australia or launch in North America, you're going to be entering an incredibly competitive marketplace. The challenges are immense. So finding those tools and the ways of working which are going to give you a leg up are incredibly powerful, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I think over the past couple of years, or even 18 months or slightly less, those AI tools have just come, a step change in how easy they are to use and how powerful they are for small business. So yeah,
Well,
it's
I mean,
really, what was only enterprise is now in the hands of all of us.
look, today's just case in point, right? 18 months ago, a lot of these platforms didn't exist as they do, certainly as they do today. And it's really been with the acceleration of generative AI and the capability that sits behind that, that this new capability exists. It is very new. It is changing very quickly. And it is why we have the academy, and we're doing sessions like this to help all of you kind of keep up with what's going on and find things. So tell us about Bebop and what that product does.
Yeah, so again, listening to Acer, it was amazing how many kind of parallels there are, and hopefully Acer doesn't mind. I'm actually going to use Arcanum as a case study when I do the live demo, and the test will be if Acer has not signed up for Bebop by the end of my little demo. I'm going to be very upset. I'm going to go down to the Arcanum offices, which are just down the road, and I'm going to have a stern word with them. But yeah, what Bebop is all about is about making finding new customers or new prospects incredibly easy, uh, being able to research those very fast and very easily, and then understanding how to reach out to them. So Blackpearl is very fortunate in that we have a long history of data collection and data management, and we're part of one of the USA's largest data cooperatives. So we have access to about 300 million personal business records or person business records, and about 100 million company records. And so Bebop is primarily for those that are looking to grow in the US market. But what I'm going to also show you today is how you can use it if you're a New Zealand company looking to grow with other New Zealand companies, or in fact, any company in the world. And so, we've really focused in on using that new generative AI technology that's out there, the large language models. So we have what we call an augmented large language model, and really the LLMs out there, we treat those as components. So we swap them in and out, and our layer sits on top, and we're always using the best in class. So we haven't built our own large language model that would cost millions and millions and millions of dollars, even if you're DeepSeek. But what we have is we pull together all of those LLMs and the Bebop layers across the top. So I guess I should jump in and show you how it works. So what we realized, so this is the opening screen of Bebop, and what we really realized is that companies are sharing lots of information and they want to be found through their websites. And so, here you can see the Arcanum website, lots of amazing information that Acer and Sophie and the team are sharing there. So why can't we use that along with the huge database that we've got and the large language models to make it super easy? So all I need to do is go find customers for Arcanum.ai. And what that is going to do is go and read the Arcanum AI website, and through understanding what they've described there, it plays back the perfect customer for Arcanum AI. So this is the ideal customer profile that Arcanum would be looking for. So knowing Asa and the team as I do, small to medium-sized business, that sounds right. Enhancing profitability, professional services to firms are a definite go-to for them, financial services, manufacturing is definitely a case study on the website. So that all feels pretty good to me, that this is a good fit. And we turn that into a query that is going to run across the database of all those companies I've mentioned and everything that we can find on the web. So this is the logic that the Bebop augmented LLM is running through. Now, this is, as I say, this is US database that it is pulling from. So you're not going to see New Zealand or other companies in here. And so then it returns, here are some ideal customers based on what we've seen from Arcanum. What we also pull in is this intent. So this is where we see what people at the company have been looking for, and we surface that up. And so for Arcanum, they're particularly interested in people that would have been looking for AI intelligence, AI automation. So these are all great things to see. So let's just take one of these, asset map. Never heard of these guys before, but they're looking at AI automation. That seems like a really nice fit for Arcanum. So the information on the left here is pulling from their website. So we summarize how they describe themselves. And these tags here, this is how they talk about themselves. This is what they want you to know about them, that they consider themselves as innovative, trustworthy, user-friendly. That's what they focus on. We don't have too much information about their employees and revenue in the database. These are the products that they focus on, asset map, and these are the kinds of customers and services that they offer. We also take a look at what kind of technology they have on their website. So quite often that's a good indication of how sophisticated they are, or maybe you have particular products that you're trying to integrate with. And then we highlight some key contacts there. And these, we'd normally have more context than this, but we surface up the ones that are most relevant given the search that you did. So this feels about right, that you'd want to talk to the Chief Technology Officer and the Chief Operating Officer. And there are also some other lookalike companies here if you think that this one's really good and you want to focus on that. Now, on the right, here, Bebop is serving you up some either recent information about the company or about the market that they're in, or other things to start you thinking about how you could approach asset map. So here's some information about the sectors that they're focused on. Also, this is where the kind of power of systems like ChatGPT and Claude come in, as I can just start talking with Bebop and asking what I could focus on. So I could ask a question like, tell me any recent news about asset map, just to see if they've made any announcements recently until this is live. Oh, okay, so there doesn't seem to be any recent news about asset map, so that's okay. That's quite often the case with small and medium-sized businesses. So we could say something like, write me a LinkedIn reach out.
So this could be used by your sales development staff, any of your sales team as they're starting to look to, or even your marketing team as they're starting to build that target account list customers to focus on. And as you're demonstrating here, it's actually starting to create more personalized content with those outreach and things like that, right? So instead of just knocking on someone's LinkedIn profile cold, you can actually reach out to someone with a connection request with some nuanced insights that are going to be, more interesting and relevant.
That's absolutely right. And now that's kind of our initial information that we can serve up to you. And what is not in the product yet, so give you a bit of a sneak preview, is these dossiers. So I can do, Justin, you can see I was doing one for you as well. We could take a dossier of what Arcanum does and create a very specific document for this company. Now, this takes a few minutes to generate because it's doing very deep research. So I thought I'd just show you a pre-canned example that I have here. So let's pretend that, and let's use a New Zealand example, that ASA is wanting to talk to Mojo Coffee about their services. So using Bebop, even though the database is entirely US, because it's building on all of the LLM and publicly available information, we can also research local companies. So here we've got Mojo. It's gone away and found out about them, all these products and services, feel about right. And we could create a sales dossier about how would I talk to them if I was Arcanum. And it does this deeper research. So it really looks at a better description of what what Mojo does, where they're located, how they talk about themselves, what their key offerings are. This all looks pretty good to me. I've been spending far too much money at Mojo, as I do. And then you start to get into this really personalized stuff. And so this is where the AI really comes in. So why would Arcanum be a good fit for Mojo? So it's picked up that Numa is the new product, and it can analyze data and help with wholesale operations. Again, as Asa talked about, no technical overhead. So this was something that'd be pretty important for someone like Mojo. Helping with those strategic initiatives, and again, secure and easy AI, as Asa talked about. Also, Bebop serves you up some specific angles that you could talk to them about. So these are more kind of conversation starters that your business development person could think about or even use in an email or as part of the conversation. So, this is a really nice one, right? Like, your team is in coffee and customer service, not AI, and Arcanum has the intuitive services and the backup to help you do that. Then it identifies some key prospects, key personas involved at Mojo, and given their role and their interests, what they might be particularly interested in. So what you could talk to them about. So it seems to have picked up a few good people there for you to talk to. Again, talks about the technology that they have. And this is really useful to think about as well. So, what might they find a problem with? So, AI is too complex. We're a coffee business. Why would we use this? And again, learning from how Arcanum describes itself and how Mojo describes itself, talks about how easy it is, the adoption. Everyone wants their data to be secure. So again, we can talk to that. ROI.
So the use case split in terms of like being able to create this interlocking between your business and a target customer and deeply understand this process is available for pretty much any business in the world, right? If you wanted to be looking for a company in Australia or the UK, that would be it. But in terms of building the the outreach in terms of those contact data and those sorts of things, that's more of a US centric feature, right?
Correct. So that table that you saw when I first did it, that is US data. So if you're not growing in the US, that won't be of use to you. Everything else I showed you is available worldwide for New Zealand
Yeah.
companies, Australian companies, anyone. So yeah, the only missing piece for a New Zealand company looking to grow in New Zealand is just that prospecting, but research, how to talk to them, how your product fits in with them, how to personalize that approach, that is all right there for you.
Well, we're 2 degrees of separation in Aotearoa, so and I love the way that, anyone working in sales and marketing is going to get an immense benefit from spending some time to get to know a prospect before they, start that conversation. Is always going to be far more valuable than just reaching out cold. So it's also a good test when you put Arcanum's website in, and it's created the ideal customer profile. That's also quite a good reflection point to align up what your website says about your ideal customer profile versus what the marketer has or the salespeople think is the ideal customer profile for the business, and the way that you're approaching it versus the way that you put it out there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
good
funny.
good
We've
place
had
to test.
with when people put in their own website, sometimes they go, "Wow, that's a better ICP than I've ever described." Like when I talk about what we do, and you're right. Sometimes it's like, "Oh man, is that what our website says?" That's not real. Like we've moved. We're no longer focused on that market. We've changed, so we need to
Yeah.
update our website. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
Sam,
Grant. How
where
much
can
does it cost? It is $59.95 US per month. So there's no commitment. Monthly subscription. We will be bringing out a Teams version fairly soon, which will have a slightly different pricing structure. Um, yeah. Uh,
fantastic.
New Zealand and Australia, yep, it's on the roadmap. We'll get there soon.
Fantastic. Sam, thank you very much for your time, for supporting Demo Day, and for telling us about this really cool and really useful platform, Bebop. Thanks, Simon, for sharing the link in the chat.
Thank you,
Cheers,
Simon.
Sam. We'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thanks, everyone.